Jai Shri Ram. Hello friends, welcome to Chitra Astroraj YouTube channel. As you know that on Tuesday, I share some part of my knowledge which I acquire over a period of time in the field of astrology. Today, I am going to talk about Jeev Atma Yoga. In Bhrigunandi Nadi particularly, Jeev is to be represented by Jupiter. Atma means soul is to be represented by Sun. In anybody chart, if Jupiter is at lesser degree and Sun is at higher degree present in the trine, that means either 159, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, or 2610, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, 3711 means Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, 4812, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If in this trine Jupiter is at lesser degree and Sun is at higher degree, then that is going to make a Jeev Atma Yoga. Jeev Atma Yoga means some characteristic of the father native is going to acquire over a period of time. It may be in the field of education, it may be in terms of the physical appearance, and above all, Jupiter is the blessing, Sun is the father. That means somewhere the blessings are always going to be with the native father also. You can say like that also. Now, if I have to explain this Jiva Atma Yoga, not only in terms of Rigunanti Nadi, but in terms of the Vedic astrology also, that means we have to consider a chart which basically is a Rashi chart. Then we have to see corresponding it in the chart, D9 chart, and then D60. Then Jiva Atma Yoga will give full-fledged result to that particular native uh, over a period of time. So without wasting any time, we are going to share one native chart, a particular chart. In that native chart, this Jiva Atma Yoga is available in Rashi chart, D9 chart, and D60 chart. How the result this native is getting, we are going to talk about that. This is cricketer Gautam Gambhir chart represented India as now at present is also acting as a mentor of Kolkata Knight Riders. How this native has got fame in 2008, 2011, then 2012, 2014, and again in 2024. Some activation of that particular planet is to be studied, and that particular planet is not necessarily to be Jupiter and Saturn, because Jupiter is the native and Sun is the name frame. That Jupiter and Saturn is saying that native is going to acquire name fame period as he grow in the life. But how this is going to be correlated with a particular planet Mars? Mars in this native chart is basically Dharaka. Dharakarka planet in Gemini is responsible to give the native wealth. Now, if you can see, particularly in this native chart, Jupiter and Sun both are sitting in the Chitra Nakshatra, and Chitra Nakshatra Lord is basically Mars in Rashi chart, and in D9 chart, this Jupiter and Saturn is sitting in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of solution. Fifth house is the house of advisor, or the advices you are going to give offer to the other native. And if we go further, this Jupiter Sun combination is also present in the seventh house in D60 chart. Seventh house is basically the mirror. Whatever the face you are having, that has to be reflected with the help of mirror. How other people are going to perceive you is to be shown by the Jupiter Sun. That is the presence in the seventh house And Rahu is the Karka of mirror itself, is with Jupiter, Sun, Jupiter, Sun is present with Rahu in the Jupiter sign itself. It becomes prominent that native will have high ups and downs also in his life. This is the one simple aspect of Jupiter, Sun, which is known as Jeev Atma Yoga. Now, whenever this planet is going to be activated, that means Mars is to be activated in his chart. You can see Mars prominence. Mars is present in the 8th house in Rashi chart, which is the house of sudden events in the Sun sign. And Sun is again present in his chart with Jupiter and Saturn. Now, if we prominently concentrate our energy on the Mars itself, Sun is in Chitra Nakshatra, Jupiter is in Chitra Nakshatra, Mercury retrograde is in Chitra Nakshatra. I have many videos on the left-hander, the person who will be prominently left-hander in his life. I have videos available on Unnati Astrovala platform where I have mentioned if some native have a retrograde Mercury, if some native have a retrograde Mercury and retrograde Mercury has a combination with or some relationship with the third house, then native is going to be prominently left-hander. Sometimes I also see this Mercury retrograde may not be there, but Mercury has to be in debilitated position, then also native become an or acquire some characteristic of the left-hander. This Gautam Gambhir is a left-hander, Mercury is retrograde. Mercury and Mars is the Karka of sports, and Mercury in Chitra Nakshatra, that is in Mars sign, and in 10th house prominently make this native either work very well in the field of sports or in the field of some instruments or some devices. This is his chart. Now, some people may say that he has not contacted me. How you can say that this chart belongs to him? I have a faith in the divine's blessings. And from there, whatever the information I get that there is some genuineness is in it. And God is permitting me to speak on that chart. Now in this Mars is a sudden house planet, transformation house, when some sudden unexpected events will happen in his life. Say for example, he will leave one particular job. Say for example, he was previously in with Lucknow team, and then suddenly he left the Lucknow team. Once he left the Lucknow team, that means already a setback has occurred to him, and now whatever the opportunity he is going to get, is that event activity or that event is going to transform him or going to give him a rise, because this is the meaning of Mars in Leo sign. And Mars being the lord of 4th house and 11th house. That means comfort and luxury are also suddenly given and taken back by the Mars. But only thing is, if this event or the luxury or comfort is taken away by someone, by forcefully or by terminating the contract, whatever the contract is going to get some status in this native life as per the chart prediction is there. And that is endorsed by the D9 chart. Mars is in the on sign in the 12th house. The native will be aggressive from the inside itself. And due to this aggressiveness, Mars having 4th aspect on the 3rd house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th aspect. Similarly, it is having 7th aspect on the 6th house and 8th house. Maybe some issues will be there. I'm not going to talk about that. But these issues are going to give him a energy to fight the circumstances. And that too are endorsed by presence of Mars along with Venus in the fourth house in D60 chart. At present, the native is going through Mars Mercury, Mahadasha of Mars and Mercury Antardasha. And due to that, this Mars houses and Mercury houses get activated, and it is giving him enough good luck to, or you can say blessing of the God to rise in the life. Because in D60 charts, Mars is in the fourth house and Mercury is in the second house. Wealth as well as comforts are going to increase in the period of Mars Mercury. But does it does it is the same situation when Mars Ketu? I slightly differ in that we will see over a period of time. But Mars Mercury is prominently activated in this chart. And because Mars is in the Ketu Nakshatra, Moon is in Ketu Nakshatra itself, and this Mars Moon that is continuously generating an opportunity to get the money or get the opportunities. This Mars Moon is also get activated because both the Mars Moon result are to be given by the Ketu, and Ketu being in the Lagna of Rashi chart and D60 chart becomes a prominent. That native may get very good thing in future also. But how and when, that has to be seen. Now, another important thing. This native have Jupiter and Saturn combination. You might have seen uh, my short videos or some presentation at Unnati Astrovalla channel, where I have mentioned if any native have Jupiter and Saturn either in the same sign or 1-7 axis. Say, for example, in his chart, Jupiter Saturn is in Mercury sign. Either Saturn is at with the Jupiter, that is Jupiter Saturn is together, or say, for example, Jupiter becomes here in this Pisces and Saturn remain here, or vice versa. Then also there is 1-7 axis. The native is continuously have an option of changing the professions. First he will work, then he will do business, then again he will do business, and then he again switch back to job. This type of situations comes. But another most important aspect of Jupiter Saturn is that native has been born in this life to do some prominent work. And that native has born to complete some pending work. Say, for example, why I'm saying this native is now mentor or guiding some teams in IPL or may become an Indian cricket coach also. I'm not talking about that, but may become. But this native is has a unfinished agenda in the politics. He might not have been given a MLA MP's ticket to fight the election, or he might have declined. I don't know. But later on, after some time, he is going to have a second in the politics also. This is to be seen from his chart because Saturn in the Hasta Nakshatra, this native is going to have a continuous change in the professions over a period of time. He is not going to be remain attached to one profession until unless he is shifted to a profession which require continuous traveling. So, my dear friends, from this chart, I have nothing to tell, only apart from Jupiter Saturn, that native is going to be just like his father or acquire some attributes or characteristic of the father in terms of the education, in terms of the business, or in terms of whatever the profession is there. In addition to that, the native is going to grow as his age increases in the life because Jupiter Sun is saying that native when attain a particular slots of ages, his reputation is always, or his name and fame is always going to increase. This is the second. Either first thing will happen or in the second thing. Now, third thing which I correlated here is in terms of the Mars Mahadasha and Mercury Antardasha, with Mars being a planet which continuously gives him the result. Mars either is the nakshatra lord of Jupiter and Sun, or Mars and Moon being in the nakshatra of Ketu, they are closely associated with the Mars because this Mars presence in the eighth house, Mars being lord of 11th house and fourth house, and Mars being the nakshatra lord of Chitra, where this Jupiter and Sun are present, is going to continuously give him prominent result. Jai Shri Ram. If you like this video, please subscribe the channel and forward it among your circle, social circle, so that your contribution helps us in growing or spreading the astrological true knowledge to all the genuine people. Jai Shri Ram.